perfect shot.
It's over. It's over.
The story ends exactly the way it was written. This wasn't a fairy tale. It was a correction. It was the moment social media hype collided with the cold, hard physics of a heavyweight fist. It was always supposed to end with Anthony Joshua knocking out Jake Paul, and that's exactly what we got.
It ended in the way that it should. Sometimes a story ends in the way that the story should end. It always should have ended with Anthony Joshua knocking out Jake Paul, and that's exactly what we got. But I think it's time that people give Paul some credit for what he did, what he has done for boxing.
He's hurt. Oh. It's over. It's over.
Hey, my boxing knowledge is impeccable. 6 rounds.
God, he got up again.
My 50,000 is safe.
Just to follow up on Jake, he said he broke his jaw in the aftermath. Has he gone to hospital? What's the health update on Jake?
Yeah, we think he broke his jaw. He's fine. We met with Netflix afterwards. He took a shower. He drove himself to the hospital. A broken jaw is very common in sports, particularly in boxing or MMA. And I think the recovery time from the doctors and surgeons we've already talked to is 4 to 6 weeks.
From the opening bell, this wasn't just a boxing match. It was a clash of philosophies. On one side, Jake Paul, the digital disruptor, moving like a man who heard a growl behind him. He flicked the jab, he moved, he made Joshua miss, and for a moment, you could almost hear his millions of fans yelling, "See, he belongs."
Impressed the fact that Jake lasted so long, or I don't know, what's your take on it?
Not really. I expected that, you know.
You expected him to last?
I mean, I expected Jake to fight the way he fought.
Right.
You know, trying to stay away. You don't know if how long that's gonna last. You know, Joshua has something to say about that. So you don't know, but I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised.
Right. Were you, I don't know, impressed by anything Jake did? Maybe getting, I mean, he took a right hand to heavyweights have taken and got
Jake
up.
is tough, man, and that's what I try to tell people when they try to completely discredit him. No, Jake Paul is not the face of boxing, and yes, that's disrespectful to the guys that been doing it from the crib. But you can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater, bro. Like, he's been training, and he knows enough in that ring to be able to, you know, protect himself, and he's a tough kid.
But this wasn't a dance floor. It was a construction site, and Anthony Joshua brought the hard hat. This was AJ, the heavyweight craftsman, clocking in for a shift. Not rushed, not emotional, just inevitable. Every clinch became a physics lesson. Joshua wasn't just fighting, he was making Jake carry the weight of a true heavyweight, draining energy, stealing breath, making the ring feel smaller with every step. By the middle rounds, Jake wasn't running a game plan, he was running laps.
So the fight starts. Joshua cannot catch up to Jake. You can see very clearly that the game plan was for Paul to kind of run and frustrate Anthony Joshua over the course of this fight. And through the first few rounds, it was working. Hell, in the first round, neither one of them landed a damn punch. And that's the problem with boxing. The problem with boxing is you can get these fights that have all this hype and nothing happens.
But as Daniel Cormier noted, patience is a weapon. Joshua wasn't panicking. He was downloading data. He was letting time and pressure do the dirty work. Even the referee had enough, basically telling them, "I know Netflix paid a lot, but we're not filming a grappling documentary."
Platter for that right hand right there. And look at Jake Paul's face. He knew it right away. He said, "Woo!"
Then round 6 arrived. AJ finally lined it up. And that right hand landed like it had a passport, sending Jake's jaw on a one-way trip to the South Pole with no return flight booked.
Yeah, we think he broke his jaw. He's fine. We met with Netflix afterwards. He took a shower. He drove himself to the hospital. A broken jaw is very common in sports, particularly in boxing or MMA. And I think the recovery time from the doctors and surgeons we've already talked to is 4 to 6 weeks.
Fight over. Internet silent. A heavyweight lesson delivered. This wasn't reckless violence, it was grown man pressure. The kind that reminds you that at heavyweight, gravity always wins. And Anthony Joshua is very good friends with gravity. And after the chaos came the truth, in 3 very different flavors. First, the professional, Anthony Joshua, who sounded less like a victor and more like a manager reviewing a quarterly report.
When I could. It was a bit messy, but from a systematical breakdown, the right hand landed, it found its home, and the referee waved it off after. Did he get counted out or did the ref wave it off?
I believe he got counted out.
So the right hand found its home.
Out, yeah.
I would have loved to have landed some more body shots, but it weren't for tonight, maybe in the future, but we got the job done in the end anyway. Or Jake would have moved around the ring at 100 miles an hour. There's 2 things I would have done. Tried to shut Jake down at 100 miles an hour, or I would have gone on the back foot. So Jake decided to move around the ring, and I decided to put the pressure on. What I could have done better is a lot of things, 100%. In the fight game, you've seen the amazing fighters that have graced us over the last 100 years, and the expectations that we put on ourselves are immense, but I tried my best.
Next, the brother, Logan Paul, with a perspective powered by pure family pride, where the scorecard was irrelevant.
I'm just so proud of him. That was incredible. In my view, that was a victory on all fronts. Right. Like, minus the actual victory, of course, but bro, like, no one expected him to last 6 rounds with AJ. In my opinion, he won 4 of them. People will argue that. He at least won 3. No one expected him to last that long. Rolled his ankle, broke his jaw, still fighting, man. Like, that's toughness. Most people wouldn't have the balls ever to step in a boxing ring to bring in their life. He stepped in a boxing ring with one of the baddest men on the planet, who's 40 pounds heavier than him and 6 inches taller. That's insane. He's one of the most skilled fighters on the planet. My brother, as a YouTuber, went 6 rounds with him in a fight with a broken jaw and rolled ankle. I'm so proud of him. That was just unbelievable.
I saw you talking crap to AJ at one point.
I was trying to get his head. I think I pissed him off. I was just saying that. I love AJ. But bro,
I saw you going down the fight game.
I was talking so much. But I just pissed him off. Then he broke my brother's jaw. This guy.
Broke his jaw, huh?
Yeah, he split his jaw.
And finally, the pundit, Daniel Cormier, the voice of cold, hard fight reality. The man who came to escort the fairy tale out of the building.
Some people believe in fairy tales. Whoever believed that Jake Paul was going to win, that was an absolute fairy tale. I've got a friend in a group message that said, I just put $20 on Jake Paul to win. I was like, bro, you just wasted your money. There was never a world in which Jake Paul was going to beat Anthony Joshua. It was always a matter of how the fight would end. So,
whoever believed that Jake Paul was going to win, that was an absolute fairy tale. There was never a world in which Jake Paul was going to beat Anthony Joshua. It was always a matter of how the fight would end. So when you stack it all together, this night wasn't about mocking belief. It was about watching belief get stress-tested by experience. Jake Paul showed heart. He showed the kind of courage that drags big moments into existence.
Can't give him anything but credit and respect. There's a lot of negative people out there. There's a lot of people who want to criticize people. They're not doing what Jake Paul's done. He just went in with Anthony Joshua and gave it his best shot. Took a lot of punishment and ended the fight eventually on his feet after the stoppage. So, you know, I think he'll have to see physically how that jaw, I don't know the severity of it. It's a very difficult injury to come back from. But he showed he's got ability, and that's what we said. You know, he's dedicated to the game.
He has got ability.
And is entering next year?
So, the best promoter in the world has been speaking with Turkey, His Excellency, Riyadh season, and now he's going to relay those messages and speak to my training team, the Right to Fight team. They're going to have conversations. They're going to speak to my manager, and everyone's going to kind of see where I'm at my training team know my body really well. They know what I've been through over the X amount of weeks I've been with them. So it's up to them to make a decision. They're gonna speak with Eddie, and then hopefully in a week or so, I'll have some news. I'm a strong guy. I want to push on, but the coaches, it's really up to them. They're the ones that guide.
That what happened what was always going to happen. You know, a lot of people thought it would only last 1 round, 2 rounds, but you've got to give Jake credit. He went out there and had a solid game plan and was implementing it at times, was landing shots and was avoiding getting hit with the big shots. But there's a reason we have weight categories in boxing, and I'd say he sticks with the cruiserweight division where the guys are the same size as him, because that, without having the schooling, the many years, I was able to give away 100 pounds in weight because I've been boxing since I was 10.
I knew we were going to beat him, but I didn't expect it to go as many rounds as it did. And I think Jake deserves a huge amount of credit, because I know he ran and held, but he did throw shots at times. But where I think he deserves credit is he took some punishment. And that shot was a similar right hand that flattened Ngannou and put him to sleep. And I know it shattered Jake Paul's jaw and broke his jaw, but he was, I mean, it wasn't okay, but he was on, he was awake. So I've got to give him credit. I think he's a crazy
Incredible knockout. What do you think?
I think he did what he had to do. He went out there, took his time, chased him down, unloaded, and got the knockout. So it's what we were expecting. I thought it'd be earlier, but he got the job done. So congratulations to Joshua.
What's next for Jake Paul? Should he retire? Should he fight on?
He can do whatever he wants. If he wants to continue.
What about Joshua? You want a piece of Joshua?
Always.
But Anthony Joshua showed the world why heavyweight boxing still runs on structure, patience, and consequences. One man chased a vision, the other enforced reality, and in the end, the ring didn't argue. It simply chose a winner.
Sometimes a story ends in the way that the story should end. It always should have ended with Anthony Joshua knocking out Jake Paul, and that's exactly what we got. But I think it's time that people give Paul some credit for what he did, what he has done for boxing, and his ability and willingness to stand in there.
Now I want to hear from you. What did you see in that ring? Was this heart, hype, or the harsh reality of boxing doing the loudest talking? Drop your take in the comments. Keep it respectful. Debate it out. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Fact Vault. See you in the next one.